Okay, now that we've gone over planning and creating a plan for your website, let's go over some more of the key things to look at and understand when designing your website. Plenty of big companies have flash websites that you might think, hey, they're doing it, so why not me? You look at websites like Lexus, Mastercraft, Apple. They all have great looking websites. Many of them have flash websites that take people on a fast connection, no time to load, but people with a slow connection, a lot of time to load. And in asking yourself whether or not you should include this, the answer is simple. Complicated flash websites won't help you sell anything. Think back to the animated sites you've seen in the past. They might look nice, but typically they load slowly, especially for users who are still on slower dial-up or DSL connections. They can also be awkward to navigate and make it difficult for users to bookmark specific pages they'd like to return to. If the purpose of your website is to function like a television commercial, then make it as flashy as you want. Lexus, for example, doesn't sell cars from their website, and most of the people who visit the website already know the Lexus brand. Therefore, they do not have to care about good search engine ranking. People know if they want to find out about Lexus, they can go to www.lexus.com. If the goal for your website is to be listed on the first page of Google, Yahoo, or MSN, then market and sell products and take money from customers, you'll need a website that's simple and easy to understand, and website that's search engine friendly. You can get a lot of web design inspiration from looking at highly successful e-commerce websites like Amazon, eBay, and Overstock. Above all, note the ease in navigation on the websites and how quickly the pages load. Anxious customers are never left waiting for slow pages. Beyond creating a simple and quick loading website, there are a number of additional steps you can take to give your users the best experience possible. There are several options when it comes to designing and creating a website. There are inexpensive design companies that can build and design and launch your website for as little as $99. Price ranges are as diverse on the internet as websites. A simple functional website can be very inexpensive, while some more advanced websites can cost tens of thousands of dollars. These solutions are great for the design novice who can afford to spend a little money to ensure that their website is functional while maintaining appealing design elements. It's also a great solution for a business owner who doesn't have the time or resources to build their own website and wants someone else to take care of it. Another option, of course, is to build the website yourself. This option is free, and it's one that we're going to be teaching you in the very next lesson. There are many free web design software platforms available, and if you're willing to put in the work, if you have an eye for design and like the idea of always being in control of your website, this solution is going to work great for you. On our resources page in this lesson, we're going to give you some links to design companies and software providers should you decide to have someone else build your website rather than going through the tutorial and building it yourself. But let's talk about really quick some of the key elements that you need to have. We've talked about, first of all, functionality over design. Next, let's talk about having a logo. Choosing a logo is another important part of branding your website. And your logo should appear somewhere on every single page of your website and every piece of correspondence with your customers. For best results, choose a logo that looks equally clear and attractive in almost any size. You've succeeded with your logo when people know your business name from only seeing your logo. There are companies out there like LogoWorks that can create a professional logo for you at an affordable price. Next, you want to be able to enhance your credibility. Even if you have a brand new website, there are steps you can take to enhance your credibility with potential customers. The presence of a secure site logo or message has been found to dramatically improve conversions, and many commercial services like HackerSafe, now known as McAfee Secure, and the Better Business Bureau also offer verification services that you can use to enhance your customers' faith in your company. Display your SSL certificate icon on every single page. People want to know the information that they're looking at is secure. Don't wait until your customer sees the checkout page before they know that they are secure. Rather, start broadcasting your security from your homepage. planning in your customers' minds that their information and future purchases are always secure on your website. It's amazing how many websites do not disclose that they have an SSL certificate until the shopping cart. Next, you want to answer people's questions before they ask. When customers have questions, only a small portion will actually contact you to ask. The rest will just leave, never to return. For that reason, it's extremely important to make sure you don't leave your customers wondering whether they're close to making a purchase. Before you launch your website, as we mentioned in the previous lesson, spend a lot of time clicking around and imagining yourself as the customer. Have you left any unanswered questions? If so, find a place to address them, whether it's on your product sales page or on a separate F.A.Q page. In some cases, it might even be worthwhile to create a separate F.A.Q for each product. That's especially true for highly technical items. If you get additional questions after you launch your website, consider adding those answers to those pages as well. Let them know who you are and make your site scalable. The more contact information you provide to your users, the more comfortable they'll be in placing an order with you. It's best if you can display a prominent link to contact information on every page of your website. If you can add a picture of yourself or your facility, this can often help. Of course, you do need to use a bit of common sense here. If you're a 700-pound tattooed man working out of a dingy basement, pictures are not your friend. Scalability. When you design your website, you need to do it under the assumption that we'll eventually grow and need to handle more than just a few visitors each day. In addition to making your site simple and clear to navigate, you'll want to make sure that the actual file sizes on each page are small enough to load quickly on slow internet connections. Make sure that all images are optimized for the web to reduce file size, and try to avoid unnecessary graphics or media files. Don't do this at the expense of the presentation and user experience, but always give careful thought to whether or not something is truly needed. If you're concerned that your site may not be optimized for higher traffic levels, there are tools like Website Optimization, which have a free page tester. They'll let you know where your problems lie and offer helpful suggestions for fixing the most crucial issues. A link to that tool is available on our resources page in this section. Next, as we mentioned before, tailor navigate your product line. If your site sells just one or two products, there's no need for category navigation or a complicated search feature. Creating a page for each product and including links to each will do the trick. On the other hand, if you're selling thousands of products using a dropshipper or affiliate products, you'll definitely want to give users a way to sort through everything effectively. On the other hand, you don't want to create a structure that's overly complex. If it takes 4 or 5 clicks through categories to find a product, that's usually too many. If you absolutely must create a structure that's deep, use image menus instead of text directories. It's easier to be patient as you click through categories if you can look at images to get an idea of what's included in each. Remember that the key functionality to your website that you need to review is that it loads quickly. Test it on several different connections. Have friends and family test it to make sure that pages load in a reasonable amount of time. Make sure that your website is search engine friendly. Make sure that it's intuitive and easy to understand, and that it's compatible with most browsers. In the resources page, we've also included a link to Browser Shots, which is a service that will let you view your web page in literally dozens of different browsers without having to manually install those browsers on your computer. As we mentioned with credibility, it's always good to put these well-known logos on your website so that customers know and feel safe. Look at this website. You'll see one site is secure and the other is not. The one on the right, up in the top right-hand corner, proudly displays its security on the very first page, the home page, letting you know that you're spending $100 or so you spend on a website product is safe. Let's talk more about the FAQ and about me. Make it easier for your customers to get answers. Anticipate their questions. Use a live chat feature. Many live chat companies out there provide a very inexpensive service to let you yourself answer your customers' questions, or you can pay them to have customer service agents answer your questions. Links to those live chat companies are on a resources page in this section. Let them know who you are. Update your About Me page. Let your customers know that you're human and give them lots of opportunities to contact you. With your scalability, make sure your files are small. Limit the amount of the multimedia that you use and make it easy for customers to navigate. One of the ways that you can do that is through breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs are you'll see on sites such as Overstock. If you're familiar with the children's fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, you'll probably remember how children left a trail of breadcrumbs so they were taken back from where they were at in the forest to their home. By leaving the trail, they reasoned they certainly were able to find their way back to the home page. Unfortunately, in the story, animals ate the breadcrumbs, leaving the kids lost in the forest. Luckily, they're much more effective on the internet. You may have noticed that many popular sites make it easy to find your way back to their home page without actually hitting the back button. So on Overstock.com, for example, it's easier to get back to previous categories without going back to the home page. Most important thing to remember is make your categories, your landing pages, as clear as you possibly can. Even if you already have a site set up, take another look at it with clarity in mind, because the users keep you in business. There's no higher goal than creating a site that's easy for them to use to buy your product. With a little hard work and effective planning, you should have no trouble creating a site that's simple, affordable, effective at driving sales. No matter how tempting it may be to create a site with only appearance in mind, remember that your goal is to make money, not to win design awards. Your website is the most important aspect of your internet business. Your domain name is the first thing people see that reflects your company. Be selective on your domain name. Your domain name impacts your ranking on search engines, viral and offline marketing, and repeat business. Choose something that's easy to spell, easy to remember, and uses keywords relevant to your website. If you have to choose between a creative and easy to remember domain name or a name with keywords relevant to your business, choose the easy to remember name. Retailers spend millions of dollars making sure that their stores are inviting, easy to navigate through, and researching product placement. Their goal is to get each person walking through their doors to spend as much money as possible. Why should your goals be any different? Your website is your online store. Remember in web design that bells and whistles win awards, but don't necessarily sell. Simple sells. Remember your website is your primary employee. It is your greeter, your salesman, and cashier, all in one. To be successful, it must welcome and invite the visitor to look around, must perceive, anticipate, and answer customer questions, and then make the checkout process as easy and secure as possible. Ask yourself this one question when designing your website. Would I buy from my website? Okay, in the next lesson, we're going to be discussing how to build your own website through HostGator's install of WordPress e-commerce. We're going to show you how easy it is to get a website live and on the internet. And by the end of that lesson, you'll actually have something that you can look at that will be the raw data of your website. Thank you so much for your membership. We look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.